The building features 8 residential floors positioned above podium and basement parking, culminating in a dedicated rooftop sit-out terrace with sweeping panoramic views of the city and Lake Victoria nearby.
For us, Muyenga is it's a very mature market.
Yeah.
However, we found that there is demand for 1 bedrooms and 2 bedrooms,
Yes.
which we wanted to fulfill, and we already have an existing market for 3 bedrooms.
Yes.
This is our 4th project in Muyenga. So Muyenga has been very accommodating, very accepting of our project so far, and it's also one of the prime locations in Kampala that we feel which is close to CBD.
Yeah.
It has a lot of neighboring amenities like good schools, good supermarkets, healthcare facilities, and definitely the view from Muyenga is outstanding.
Where do you see the future of real estate and housing for Uganda?
I see a very big and beautiful future for this real estate, because everywhere you find, mostly for the HK properties, you find them in Muyenga, you find them in Munyonyo, in Mutungo, and other places, so many places. And they put up these very beautiful properties, apartments and houses, affordable, not only but affordable, with good payments. So it is good. We thank them for what they are doing.
We wanted to have a mix of 1 bedrooms, 2 bedrooms and 3 bedrooms, and we wanted to have a very flexible design. So one of the key understanding of the amenities was that there's a really high demand for Airbnbs in Muyenga.
Yes.
And especially with us being the only 1 bedrooms at the moment on Tank Hill Road, we wanted to capture the Airbnb market. Now Airbnb market also requires additional amenities, just like a hotel. It needs a swimming pool, it needs a gym, it needs a children's play area, it needs a games room, it needs co-working spaces, high-speed elevators, backup generators, security. So we added all those amenities to this project so that people who are investing for Airbnb can get a really good return out of their investment.
Shanguza mu HK Properties kondomi ya mweno amala kuba nonyerezaako indaba emirimu gyabwe nga mirungi nga ate bantu bamazima ate nga n'ensasula yaabwe simbi kuba bakuwa emyaka 3 okusobola okumalayo ssente zaabwe naye ng'osooka n'osasula 20% down payment. So n'empika interest zaabwe indaba nga bantu bamazima ate nga ekintu kye bakola kirungi.
But now talking about returns, what is the return on investment, the projected growth and appreciation of this property, especially for off-plan buyers and off-takers who are buying into this project off-plan?
So immediately the off-plan buyers are going to benefit from, first of all, the launch price, which is already highly discounted.
Yeah.
We are expecting an increment of almost 5 to 8% at the end of the project. And in long-term return, we are looking at somewhere between 8 to 10.
Brought to you by Palmarina Estates, Garuga, where luxury meets lifestyle by the water. NBS. Always. Up next. Brought to you by
The Vinca Live and Loud concert is brought to you by Swans Avenue and Skyview. Skyview, more flavor, more fees, more fun.
NBS Live at 9.
A very good evening. You do know that you can create convenience around using time twice, and one of those ways is by scanning this QR code, and you don't know when you'll need it. We know when you'll need it. And anytime you need information, you will need to scan. Scan now the QR code, get it on your phone, get it on your mom's phone, get it on your wife's phone.
Get it on your uncle's
Even
phone.
your maid needs it.
All of them.
Everybody needs it. And scan it and then follow the prompt, and then you'll have MTN TV by Afromobile. Then you will get to watch me and myself and many of our colleagues. I actually just want to say hi to the people that are watching us right now. Maybe on your phone, we see you. Maybe you're in the diaspora. We like it for us. MTN TV by Afromobile. Go ahead and download it just like that. And more importantly, it also helps bring people together, because if you're busy watching current affairs, he and she will not be fighting on the way home, right?
Absolutely. Well, we've got major stories coming up your way, but I don't want to give too much away. Let's go to the headlines.
Shall we go to the headlines then?
Bukaramoja is picked, okay? Bugisu. Lamua. Bugisu.
Disaster in the waiting as government sets up an interministerial committee to manage upcoming disasters.
And we hope to work together to follow this emergency which is going to come in the near future.
Mabina Forest faces extinction after private developers claim ownership.
It's a great concern, and I think the issue of
how did they acquire the titles? The stakes in opposition political parties.
Political parties are operating under a very restrictive legal and political framework.
Is it an NRM creation, or are they themselves to blame?
We need to look at how do we move to the next step.
You have a big machine, you can't control it anymore, and then you hear.
New rules for Sinotrax as government moves to curb road carnage.
A disturbing number of crashes are linked directly to poor maintenance.
Hey, this house is part of the acres.
Yes.
Even the other house.
City Tycoon refuses to vacate Tebangalo land.
We are really fenced. We are fenced, and even NSSF could not lead us through. They said they can also.
NSSF vows to fully evict him. Matembe renews calls for national dialogue.
Let us create what we call a government of national unity.
Can this address the human rights question in the country?
For me, that could do better.
This is NBS Live at 9 with Samson Kasumba and Victoria Sibia.
A very good evening. Now, don't get your mind twisted. We are going to be talking about El Nino rains, and this is very serious. The government has issued a major update on the country's disaster status, highlighting the imminent arrival of El Nino rains during the September to December 2026 rainfall season. And the minister stated that an interministerial committee has been set up to tackle the threatening disasters, and authorities warn that flood-prone lowlands, urban centers with poor drainage, river catchment areas and mountainous areas prone to landslides do face the highest of risks as global climate patterns begin to shift.
The Minister for Relief, Disaster Preparedness and Refugees, Sam Engola, has warned the country of impending El Nino rains set to hit the country between September and December 2026. He stated that the government has established an interministerial committee to draft a contingency plan to deal with the disasters.
Continue to monitor the trend of the El Nino event and will keep the country informed. OPM has established an interministerial technical committee is currently developing the El Nino plan that will be submitted to Cabinet for approval. The contingency plan will provide for the intervention to implement before, during, after the El Nino rains.
Sam Engola revealed that government has started the distribution of early warnings targeting communities at high risk, pointing to urban centers without drainage systems, river catchment areas, and wetlands, among others.
An agency are therefore expected to implement the intervention in the plans when approved by Cabinet. The OPM is working with the lead agency and district local government have embedded and countrywide dissemination of the El Nino early warning information targeting communities at risk.
To avert widespread devastation, national and local authorities have been issued with strict directives. District leaders and urban councils must clear clogged drains and enforce zoning laws to clear settlements from hazardous slopes and riverbanks. Meanwhile, the line ministers have been instructed to proposition heavy machinery in flood-prone areas, ramp up disease surveillance, and update local emergency plans.
Particularly vulnerable include flood-prone lowland urban centers with inadequate drainage system, river catchment.
Members of Parliament from disaster-prone areas proposed evacuation of citizens in the disaster-prone areas, with some questioning why government has failed to decentralize disaster management. These argued that the relief mechanisms are not enough but substantial long-term measures.
I'm wondering why the Prime Minister's office and the ministry does not consider establishing field offices in the different regions where these disasters normally occur and store the required relief items, put the required measures.
We could vacate our people temporarily until the rains have passed, then they can go back. At least we could lose land and animals, but not losing life.
You have talked of El Nino coming in the near future. What is it that we are doing currently to ensure that these rivers again don't damage the environment, particularly the crops and the houses?
The minister revealed that they have asked Cabinet for more financing for relief to drought-prone areas as they prepare for the El Nino disaster.
People who are really suffering. On Monday, we're still presenting a paper in Cabinet to ask for more money and more food because there are other places like Acholi area, West Nile area, Barara area, those cattle corridor, which has also got no food. So be patient, things will be enough.
Talk of contradictions. El Nino is Spanish for Christ child or the little boy. Nothing little about these rains. Now, it is still swearing-in season, and the three newly appointed cabinet ministers have officially taken their seats at Parliament after taking their oaths of Member of Parliament as ex-officio members. The newly sworn-in leaders include Minister for Foreign Affairs, Ambassador Donia Ayebare, State Minister for Microfinance, Shatsi Kutesa Msherure, and State Minister for Internal Affairs, Juma Chiseka Witonze. Upon taking their oath, the ministers committed to maintaining a consistent presence during plenary sessions and remaining fully accountable to the House by addressing parliamentary inquiries at all times. Presiding over the seating, Deputy Speaker of Parliament Thomas Taiyewa welcomed the three and urged them to prioritize regular attendance to ensure smooth government business. Returning to the swearing-in, the Leader of Opposition, Joe Senyonyi, called on the new appointees to break from the past trends of ministerial absenteeism, emphasizing that Parliament requires active engagement, and opposition leader did urge the ministers to always be present to answer urgent inquiries from lawmakers, noting that even an unsatisfactory response is better than no response at all. Quite a bunch was said.
I, Adonia Ayebare, swear in the name of the Almighty God
that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to the Republic of Uganda,
and that I will preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution, so help me God.
I've been waiting for you because for Honorable Adonia Ayebare, Honorable Aruna Kaso has been doing a great job. He has been overwhelmed. Now I'm glad you've come in, especially at a time when you are facing very many challenges on the foreign front, but also the candidature of our senior elder, Ambassador Raro Tunu. Honorable Juma Witonze, I hope this settles a question which some had tried to portray, that some of us victimize people of a certain, tribe. You to be attending the House regularly for ministers of state, to support your ministers when they schedule to come here. We have issues to do with internal affairs.
In the past, we have had challenges where we look for particular ministers and they are absent. We have questions from both sides of the House. and ministers are not present. And so the government chief whip, see her running around making calls, trying to get hold of them. So please make your whips work easy and be available to respond to this question. Sometimes, by the way, an unsatisfactory response is better than no response at all. Yes, that we ask a question, you give a response, we are dissatisfied, and then we can quarrel about the response. But at least there's a response.
I promise that I will be, as much as possible, be present in this house. But where required, answer some questions or give statements.
I promise I will be here with you to answer your questions.
Mabira Forest faces the threat of extinction after 4 people emerged claiming ownership of parts of one of Uganda's largest forest reserves, with plans to use the land for commercial agriculture. This was revealed by the Ministry of Water and Environment while appearing before the Parliamentary Committee on Natural Resources, where officials raised concerns over what they described as alarming encroachment on the forest reserve. The ministry told the committee that 13 villages have already settled on part of the 29,000-hectare forest reserve, with a further encroachment continuing.
Officials from the Ministry of Water and Environment, led by State Minister for Environment Beatrice Anywa, on Wednesday appeared before the Parliamentary Committee on Natural Resources, chaired by Kazo County MP Dan Kimosho, to explain the status of the ministry and all entities under the docket.
When you give that list, we also want what you have done.
It was during this engagement that the ministry revealed that 4 individuals have presented land titles claiming ownership of the largest portion of Mabira Forest and have notified the ministry of their intention to use the land for commercial agriculture.
It's a great concern, and I think the issue of protecting our environment is really upon we, the citizen of this country.
In the same meeting, the ministry also informed MPs that it is in the final stages of drafting the long-awaited wetlands bill aimed at strengthening protection of all wetlands across the country.
We want ED to tell us really why.
NEMA officials did not escape scrutiny. They were grilled over the Lubigi evictions, with MPs questioning why one petrol station was left standing while other structures were demolished.
Your Honorable Chair, even those,
but he's here now.
Even those small houses, they were on hard ground, but they were crushed down.
Can you tell us the relationship between you, NEMA, in approval of a petrol station to build in a wetland?
Even Starbucks station is a new encroacher in Rubigi. How comes that the rest were crushed and then Starbucks station was left aside and protected, well protected?
Highlight for us which areas can never pass for a petrol station in this country. Where you say this is a don't. Whether you do what, here we cannot clear you.
We evaluate, is the development going to offend the environment?
The MPs also faulted officials from the National Forestry Authority for allegedly encroaching on people's private land during the demarcation of forest reserves.
NFA instead became an encroacher. I say it looking in your eyes. NFA became an encroacher. Why? When you went to open boundaries.
Last year, not the other year, they came. They again encroached on people's land. What pained us most as leaders is that despite your markstones, despite you brought your surveyors and surveyed, took our people's land.
Honorable Minister, I know you like the issue of preservation of the environment so much, but we also need to protect the people. We have people who are landless, who have been evicted, but it is not their mistake.
And now to this, legislators on the Parliamentary Committee on Commissions, Statutory Authorities and State Enterprises, or what you know as COSASE, have raised concern that city tycoon Amos Nzei remains in possession of 55 acres of land at Temangaro that was sold to the National Social Security Fund in 2008. During an oversight visit, the 463-acre property, the committee chaired by Chandondo East Member of Parliament, was told that Nzei has refused to vacate the 55 acres despite the land belonging to NSSF. Fund officials told the MPs that they are in the process of evicting him. The legislators also expressed dissatisfaction with the size of the quality of the housing units currently under construction at Temangaro by NSSF, questioning whether the project will deliver value for members' contributions. After inspecting the Temangaro property, the committee proceeded to Uganda Clays Limited in Kajansi to assess the state enterprise's operations and performance.
Hey, this house is part of the acres.
Yes.
Even the other house.
So, Chair, this is just, I believe, for paddocks. I believe for paddocks. But then it's where the fence going down.
So even this farm, this whole farm and the other house are in the same land.
Yes, it is. Yes.
Now the other house is for who?
That is the seller's house. That one there.
Which seller? We have a company and
Mr. Amos Nzei's house.
Mr. Amos Nzei.
Yes, please.
So he also stays on the land.
He has house. Yeah, I believe he does. The eviction is going to we have to get a court order for the eviction. So we have to now go to court. The process of us going to court has started because we started with the notice. Now we are going to engage with filing pleadings in court. And that's a process which is ongoing because we are engaging with our lawyers. So we're going to do that.
55 acres in question, we are really fenced. We are fenced, and even NSSF could not lead us through. They said they can only end at the fence, only that they indicated that they have issued an eviction notice to a one Amos Nzei. They pointed at one house with the tiles, and they claimed it is a residence of Amos Nzei. There was some farm houses, and we even saw the cows on the land, which they told us are cows for Amos Nzei. So we shall seek to interact with Amos Nzei to understand what are the reasons behind him selling the land, getting the purchase price, but again insisting and refusing to surrender the 55 acres as we have observed. Probably he has also reasons that can assist the committee appreciate. We want this issue to move out of the Auditor General's report because it has been observed by the Auditor General year after year. Number two, we moved to Lubowa. We saw the housing estate for NSSF, and of course part of our concern was the vacant land, which to us appeared commercial if developed, and we advised that probably it is a viable venture if developed to a saver with NSSF.
If you go to Temangalo, we're trying to now make sure that we can have something affordable for most Ugandans. We are putting up 550 units of houses there, also over 70 acres. And the first sale to this house is going to go in around October, when we'll do the pre-sales for those who want to buy a nicely organized community having a house that somebody can afford.
Now let's come back to the politics. Uganda's political landscape is facing growing uncertainty, with opposition parties grappling with internal divisions, leadership challenges, and the continued detention or absence of some of their key leaders. As some parties struggle to find a clear direction, while others cite government pressure as major challenge, questions are emerging over the future strength, unity, and effectiveness of Uganda's political opposition.
Uganda's political environment has increasingly become unpredictable, both within political parties, especially the opposition, and in the general political fields, where the game of politics is played. Many political parties have shifted the blame to the ruling government for what they have described as suppression, torture, and harassment, where several have found themselves behind bars, while those who have remained clinged to their party have chosen a silent corner, with others resorting to asylum.
Anybody who is judging opposition political parties and leaving out the political environment in which we operate is being unfair.
There has been a deliberate attempt to silence the opposition, to cower the opposition.
Away from the political environment, parties seem to have headed to a direction of self-regulation, fighting internally, and silence. Looking at the parties like DP, the party seems to be driven by one person, Norbert Mao, with the Secretary General Gerard Siranda nowhere close to the party activities, while in NUP, the top leadership remains scattered, Robert Chagulanyi and his deputy Lina Zedriga seeking asylum, while deputy of Buganda remain incarcerated. The party has since had internal power exchange that has gone unexplained as well. The situation is not much different in PFF that has their leaders detained, while the Secretary General Ibrahim Semujunganda seeking asylum.
The striking thing isn't necessarily that Zadriga did nothing. It is that the public saw very little institutional process around that particular transition.
Those internal challenges arise out of the fact that political parties are not free. You cannot talk to the citizenry. It's only during times of elections that political parties have some minimum levels of freedom to engage the citizenry.
UPC's Jimmy Akena recognizes the party has had its dip with the final nail coming in the just concluded president, where they failed to present a presidential candidate. The party has also had its own internal fights, where several members claiming the party's top opposition.
I've done what I could to get us to this point. We have our members of parliament, we have our district leadership. So as a party, we now need to look at how do we move to the next step.
However, Akena believes now is the time to sit and resolve their grievances to determine the clear direction of the party if they are to stand in the current political environment.
As a party, I want us to sit down. All those who have claimed leadership, all those who believe they should be leaders, let us come together as UPC, look at the situation where we find ourselves as a country, and then proceed and find the best solution which we can for the country.
However, James Asuman Basalirwa remains optimistic the current political environment eating political parties remain temporary and the opposition will rise stronger.
Honorable Akena definitely has a German Shepherd and it also joined the interview. That's lovely to see. Now, we'll be talking to governance expert Mr. Bernard Luwum right after this particular story. He's already in studio. Now, former Ethics and Integrity Minister and writer activist, the Honorable Miriam Matembe, doctor, has renewed calls for a national dialogue to address what she is now terming as growing arrests and human rights concerns. Matembe says the government has a central role to play in promoting national unity whilst urging the NRM to clarify its commitment to multi-party politics. Dr. Matembe made the remarks at a press conference where she spoke publicly for the very first time after her experience more than a month after her arrest, court appearance and remand to Luzira prison. She says her experience reflects wider challenges facing political actors and has renewed the need for dialogue among political players. Frustrated by what she describes as the state of the opposition, Matembe challenged the ruling NRM to clarify on whether it remains committed to multi-party system of politics or intends to pursue a one-party system, urging Ugandans and their need to find clarity about the political space in which they operate.
Let us create what we call a government of national unity. For me, that's what I had thought. You go in these parties, whichever are there, you sit together and you constitute a government of national unity. For me, that could do better because multi-party political system in this country can't work. We are going back into a one-party political system. They want a one-party political system. And why don't they even declare it? Me, I've been saying, let it be declared that Uganda is a one-party political system. They can as well change the constitution and violate it like they removed the term limit and have one party. So that Ugandans know that we are in a one-party system and we choose whether to go in it or stay and be quiet. But you cannot just do things like this.
There are parties that are well known, like DP, that are really have portrayed as puppets of NRM. So even as we do that, we have to scrutinize those parties that we really feel we have the same agenda, we have the same ideas, so that we champion and put it across. But even then, personally, I don't believe that the NRM is willing and ready to listen.
I don't remember doing a story on DP declaring that it is a puppet of the NRM, and I've been here for some time, but we will look for that interview. Now let's speak to Mr. Bernard Ruwuma, a governance expert. And sir, let me ask, the opposition is in a precarious situation, and some say it is silent. Has it been cowed? Has it accepted the status quo? Or has the new reality just dawned on it?
Thank you very much, Samson and the viewers. I think what we are seeing is a true manifestation that we have not institutionalized political multipartism in this country. And we still heavily rely on founders of these political parties. And when they are absent, then we begin to feel the silence of these political parties. We have seen political parties leaders like, Dr. Kiza Besigye, who is incarcerated. We have seen the president of the National Unity Platform, who is out of the country.
And the deputy president as well.
And the deputy president as well. So there are those who are trying to hold the fort, but we still look at the founders of these political parties. And the brand of that political party is what we look out to. But I also think most importantly is the strategy. What do we do after elections? If we win, how do we take over power? Because you don't want to be stranded with power. If we lose, do we go to court? Do we petition? So what happens after? And I think this is causing the silence that we are seeing in most political parties. Because what is the strategy after the elections? How do we remain relevant? How do we devise new strategies for the next 5 years? Are we building the youth league? How strong is the FDC Youth League? How strong is the Uganda Young Democrats? How strong is the UPC Youth League? Because the young people now are changing the political narrative. And if the youth wing of any political party is not strong, then they're going to go silent. But also we have seen legal battles going on that has kept some political parties in limbo. We have seen financial constraints. Some parties do not have resources to start rebuilding. But also there are statements and sentiment that have been made before, and this has led to a bit of disenfranchisement, but also putting some political parties at play that we may never get out of where we are. And I think this is causing the silence that we are seeing.
Multi-party politics is built on the assumption that a political party in power and still wants to retain power must create a condition in which it can be beaten out of power by those who want to take it out of power. Is that realistic enough that a political party in power must reduce its power to allow situations in which it can lose power? And that's A. B, has the opposition just found out what it is like to try and unseat the NRM?
Interestingly, when I had conversation with some members of parliament and in the opposition, they said sometimes they're silent for strategic regrouping and rebuilding, so they shouldn't take the silence for granted. But I think it starts and ends with leadership and how the parties are organized and structured. I talked about sustaining the party beyond elections. Most strategies designed around elections are very difficult to sustain elections. But also we have seen agreements like what I've just talked about, like the cooperation agreement that is seen to be reducing the popularity of some political parties now being associated with another political party. But also some appointments, that were made in the past, like the appointment of the former Minister of Gender, Betty Amongin, who is the wife to the UPC party president. So all these were looked at as not party position, but appointments that are looked at to weaken the parties. So I think some of this, and then what we call factionism within the political parties. We saw what happened with FDC, where a new political formation, PFF, came in. We have seen previously with the Democratic Party where there was Subi coming in. So it starts and ends with leadership, but most importantly, we need to get away from, the founder syndrome of these political parties.
Mr. Banan Loom, thank you very much for your thoughts there. Thank you. The next time I will interview a politician or an expert on governance, one of the questions I'll ask them, isn't it good politics for you to weaken your opposition? Isn't that the essence of politics? Or is politics about you strengthening those who are opposing you? Those are questions I will ask somebody very soon. But this is what is coming in a bit.
More to come, brought to you by
Global Paint. How? For the seating. For us, we use Global Mat.
Global Paint, reliable product.
Access unsecured loans of up to 500 million Uganda shillings plus 6 months of free banking. Ko NCBA Bank. Chigwa kuwerere. Visit any NCBA Bank branch today and unlock the momentum your business deserves.
NCBA Bank. Go for it.
Government orders 6-day Sinotrack, big one, and that's coming back when we get to the break. And Sinotracks have been all over the place. And I can definitely tell you from what I do know that a Sinotrack crashed into a house, killing a young lady, an old lady there. And the reason was the Sinotrack driver was teaching the girlfriend how to drive in a Sinotrack. My name is Samson Kasumand. I am the most famous Prime News anchor in Eastern Central Africa, and I can be found on MTN TV by Afro Mobile. You will deal with that.
School feeding programs are not just about food. They are about education, health, and equality. Every child deserves to learn without hunger. That is why our school and leaders should make school feeding a priority.
Well-fed children are more attentive and perform better in school. As a parent, it is your duty to ensure your child has access to school meals. Together, we can end child hunger and malnutrition by ensuring every child has school meals. This message is brought to you by World Vision Uganda.
Hello, Mr. Mukasa.
Hello, how are you?
I'm okay, sir. Are you the broker?
The original one.
I was told you have very good rentals.
That is right. How many bedrooms do you want?
I want 3 bedrooms.
Okay, did I tell you of the price?
Yes, of course. 500,000.
No. This side, the salary went a bit high.
Why?
Because the paint we use is of good quality. So the place gained the value.
Which paint?
Global Paint.
How?
For the ceiling, for us we use Global Mat. And for the inside walls, we use Global Silk Vinyl.
Okay, tell me about the outside walls.
Outside we use Global Weather Coat Emulsion so that the walls don't peel.
I'm really impressed. The precision you put while painting, I'm willing to pay any amount.
That is true, because here for us quality is paramount and the place becomes humidity.
Global Paint, a reliable product.
You need a bigger space to grow your business.
You need to be ready for any season.
We need to stop here before we run. You need faster checkouts for these busy days.
In business, you need advice, solutions, and sector expertise when it matters.
Your new office space looks great. What's next?
We get it. Absa Business Banking.
Why pay for someone else's repairs? Say goodbye to hidden costs and hello to peace of mind of a brand new start. Discover the Suzuki range of unmatched fuel-efficient and reliable options. From the iconic Jimny to the new Across Hybrid. Find the perfect blend of style and world-class efficiency. Upgrade today and enjoy 1 year of free fuel and comprehensive insurance, plus 2 years of free service and a 3-year warranty. Trade in your current car or choose financing to start driving as you pay installments. Don't wait. Visit the Suzuki showroom today or call 0800-211-033 to get started.
With Kanzali plus Mchuzi, you get the perfect pot of flavor and taste with the superior ingredients of the new Royco 2-in-1 mix. Enjoy the Kathufu mix.
New Tusker Premium Cider. Crisp, delicious apples crushed and blended to create a unique taste explosion.
All right, listen up. Colgate is on a mission.
It's kind of a big thing.
Colgate Herbal uses traditional nature's herbs and combines it with Colgate Science for healthy gums and strong teeth.
Colgate Charcoal Gentle Clean cleans and polishes teeth for a whiter smile and a naturally fresh and clean mouth. Choose natural. Choose Colgate Charcoal.
Welcome back now to a major story. The Ministry of Works and Transport has issued a 60-day mandatory truck inspection directive targeting Sino trucks operating within the Greater Kampala metropolitan area. The directive is part of a wider road safety crackdown that will also see truck drivers accredited with badges, vehicle owners held accountable for their drivers, and demerit points system.
Levels which are substantially affordable to every Ugandan.
Government is also turning its attention to the drivers themselves. Training and centralized competency testing for some drivers' license classes and refresher trainings will be critical to reducing crashes.
We centralized the testing of these drivers, classes C, classes CE, and classes DE.
Driving schools are also expected to play a greater role in improving driver competence. The Ministry of Works and Transport is expected to engage truck distributors, manufacturers and dealers as well as owners on self-regulation, while teams will be dispatched to sensitize operators on the new requirements.
So fines are not going to stop. We are coming with fines. As I told you, you have a driver who is not accredited. We fine both the driver, we fine the owner. But we don't want to go there. We want you to be compliant people.
And with a 60-day window before the festive season, government says the objective is to have operators fully compliant before enforcement is intensified.
Well, let's get into the details of exactly what that process is going to look like for the Sino trucks as well as the drivers, especially in the Greater Kampala metropolitan area. Well, already the mandatory inspection guidelines for the Sino trucks, it starts off all Sino trucks in the Greater Kampala to undergo inspection. That is all of them, not even one left behind. The exercise will start off in Namamve, while compliance required within 60 days altogether. This is going to be done in the next 2 months or so. Now, the driver accreditation is quite a big one as well. Now, the Ministry of Works is requesting that all drivers be accredited with a badge, but for a driver to be accredited, they must provide the following: a national ID, they have to provide a valid driving license, appointment letter, medical clearance from a recognized government facility is one of the important recommendations over there, rather not even recommendations, requirements from the Ministry of Works. Now, the owner accountability, the owners of the trucks in particular. Now, owners must formally appoint drivers, and as well as the Ministry of Works must be notified when a driver is dismissed. Now, owners and drivers may face liability for violations. I think that this is one of the important ones over there. Now, the demerit point system is another one that has been applied to this. Let's have a look there. As you can see, that targeted for implementation by the end of October. So this demerit system, that's when it's going to start. Points for traffic and safety violations. I actually wonder if those points will be counted to what extent, and that is what's going to be taking place within the next 2 months. Let's hope for safer roads, if I should say. Coming up right now, though, is our feedback.
Feedback brought to you by. In business, you need advice, solutions, and sector expertise when it matters.
Your new office space looks great. What's next?
We get it. Absa Business Banking.
Well, of course, with our feedback, we had to ask you the questions because I think you guys are helping us run the country pretty well. This is the hashtag NBS Live at 9 for the question we're asking today.
Government introduces mandatory inspection of Sino trucks operating within the Greater Kampala metropolitan area. In your view, is this the magic bullet to persistent road carnage? You want to ask the same people involved in the problem?
Probably not, but let's hear how they're fixing the country.
Catherine Agina says the people going to do the inspections won't take bribes, she's asking. These are just a waste of time. Why are you pessimistic? As long as the officers in charge of receiving these crumpled notes passed to them and they keep letting people who are violating traffic rules to just go.
I understand where she's coming from to a large extent. Now, Derek says, in my view, inspection can help by ensuring that brakes, tires, steering lights, load limits, and other critical systems are roadworthy. But Uganda's road carnage has multiple causes. Police continues to identify speeding, reckless overtaking, and non-compliance with traffic regulations as major contributor to crashes. I actually think that once this system has been applied, consequences are important, because if people can't pay for their crimes in a large extent, they just continue on doing what they do.
I generally think that somebody who is under the age of 50 should not be driving any one of those things.
Trucks?
Yeah, because I'm not so sure about their understanding of responsibility.
But one thing we do know for sure is the only hope we have is, can this be implemented?
Is there a Sino truck driving school?
Let's take a break.
Uganda is moving forward.
And at the heart of that movement is the most extensive fiber network in East Africa, with more than 15,000 kilometers of fiber and over 5,000 telecom mast sites. Soliton Telmec is the backbone that enables Uganda's telecom and digital infrastructure, connecting government services, businesses, homes, universities, hospitals, banks, villages, and telecom masts. We don't just build networks, we maintain and commercialize critical infrastructure that supports national development. East Africa's leading fiber company, connecting Uganda with the most capacity. Soliton Telmec, building networks for life.
Before the medal, before the success, there are mornings no one sees, days you carry alone.
Supermarket near you. Just pull, tear and crumble for the tastiest beans.
In today's world, opportunity is digital. Is your education keeping pace? At Cavendish University, Uganda, we don't just use technology. We're built around it. Our state-of-the-art digital portal and our world-class public health laboratories are your launchpad. Because here, we focus on one outcome: your success. We equip you with in-demand digital skills, critical thinking, and real-world experience. We don't just award degrees. We prepare you for gainful employment and entrepreneurship globally. Enroll with Cavendish University, Uganda this semester. Registration is ongoing. Cavendish University, Uganda. Your success begins here.
Searching for the right investment destination, Kabalega Petro-based Industrial Park is now open for business in Hoima, Uganda. Over 221 plots measuring 536 acres are available for petrochemicals, agro-processing, manufacturing, industrial services, logistics, warehousing, ICT, hospitality, commercial and residential. Don't let this opportunity pass you. Visit the KIP investor portal at kip.unoc.com. Discover the various investment opportunities and project updates. Create an account and book a site visit at KIP. Kabalega Petro-based Industrial Park is open for business. Invest in KIP, invest in Uganda.
You wanna make tasty food and sales. You want dough that doesn't steal. Candaling one no ya nai. Sika de buto one nai. Nailo akro ya sika. Sika de buto one nai.
Cook better, sell better with modern healthy cholesterol-free cooking oil and modern non-sticky wheat flour. Modern Yenyabo.
Welcome back. It is Uganda, the Pearl of Africa, of course, that is commemorating International Youth Day, with leaders calling for increased government investment to match the country's rapidly growing youth population.
Okay, please sit. You're welcome. The youth and all Ugandans have no more excuses to tolerate poverty in their homes. Now that the infrastructure, markets, and government wealth creation programs, the NRM has addressed the major bottlenecks which hindered growth and development in the past. They included ideological disorientation, a weak state, undeveloped human capital, poor infrastructure. These funds are not for decoration, nor are they gifts for consumption. They are seed capital intended to help you generate income, produce goods and services, and transform your livelihoods. That you cannot be a wealth creator if you live a life of indiscipline and parasitism. I urge you to take good care of yourselves. You should avoid drug use, alcohol, and promiscuity because they destroy your health, clarity of mind, and productivity.
First, Your Excellency, was a commitment towards the establishment of a National Youth Multipurpose Center to house and host the youth, where the young people can gather to ideate, to innovate, and think better towards youth socio-economic transformation. The second was additional funding to the National Youth Council structure and system from 4 billion to 10 billion Uganda shillings to enable them take on this task and new pledge of following up the monies and pushing for youth socio-economic transformation and uptake of government programs towards them.
Relatedly, as the world commemorates International Youth Day, Next Radio has joined the celebrations by bringing together young people for an inspirational session focused on career growth, innovation, and resilience. Next Media Group CEO Kin Karisa shared his personal journey from school into the corporate world, and he did open up very candidly about his failures and lessons that have consistently shaped his career from then to now.
What if, for one day, you stopped dreaming about success and started living it?
For many young people, the journey from school to a successful career is rarely straightforward. At Next Media, young people gathered for an International Youth Day conversation aimed at encouraging them to dream big, learn from failure, and identify opportunities around them. Next Media Group CEO Kin Karisa shared his personal journey, speaking about the challenges and failures he encountered before building his career.
At Shibuli, when I was chairman Students' Council, and this is how it was. So I created a paper called The Guide. And I asked the school administration to give me space for a notes board. So they gave me a space. So in whatever situation you are in whatever environment, ask yourself, what value am I adding? What problem am I solving?
For Next Radio, the engagement is part of a broader effort to connect young people with people they admire and create opportunities for them to learn from real-life experiences.
And so we've been running a series of conversations with them. Now, for this particular one,
Because Ken Karisa, our big CEO, a very good CEO, they said they look up to him so much. So we put young people together and we asked Ken to come and speak to them. He has actually shared his life experience.
Musimenta says the program will go beyond conversations with the young participants, set to be grouped into different areas of interest, including business, technology, tourism, and media.
Those who are more interested in business, some are into tech, some want tourism, and we'll be taking them out to meet people who are the big game players in these respective clusters. So we'll also be giving them challenges that they will have to work on and then present to these people.
Actually, what I've picked is that you should never have self-doubt.
So my takeaway is not to give up, to always stay strong.
I've understood better that failing once or twice shouldn't stop you from hoping for greater heights. So it's been really a wonderful session.
And now the Chief of Defence Forces, General Muhoozi Kainerugaba, has retired more than 200 officers at the UPDF headquarters in Buya. He urged the retirees to remain valuable to their communities by applying the leadership and management skills they acquired during their years of active service.
At around 10 a.m., the Chief of Defence Forces, General Muhoozi Kainerugaba, arrived at the UPDF Joint Services Headquarters, where family members and friends had gathered to witness the retirement of several officers as they began their transition into civilian life. Addressing the retirees, General Kainerugaba argued them to view the transition as an opportunity to reconnect with and support their communities following years of service in different roles.
As you transition into retirement, I encourage you to see this not as the end of service, but as a new phase in your contributions to the country. Uganda still needs your experience, wisdom, and leadership. Many of you have acquired technical, managerial, and leadership skills over the years, and these remain valuable to your communities and to the nation.
He also encouraged them to remain ambassadors of patriotism and to mentor their younger generation of military personnel.
Continue mentoring the younger generation, promoting peaceful coexistence in our communities, and supporting community development.
General Kainerugaba also encouraged serving military personnel to continuously adapt to the emerging threats and strengthen efforts to combat modern crimes, including cybercrime and transactional organized crime.
Let's continue modernizing our force, embracing innovation, strengthening joint operations, and maintaining the highest standards of discipline, accountability, and readiness. As the security environment evolves, we must remain alert and adaptable to emerging threats.
Retirees expressed appreciation as they reflected on their years of service, highlighting discipline and dedication as key to their success.
Further appreciate the team spirit from our superiors, colleagues, and juniors. Your sacrifice is seen even when your names are not spoken. Remember that our strength is seen in our unity and in the oath we swore.
In a statement released by the UPDF earlier this week, more than 200 junior officers and 1,364 militants are set to retire from their respective formations. The date for the ceremonial send-off of the 19 general officers is yet to be communicated.
Every business begins with belief. The belief that tomorrow can be bigger than today. But waiting to be paid should never hold ambition back. With NCBA Working Capital Solutions, unpaid invoices become opportunity. Because some ambitions build more than businesses, they build futures. At NCBA, we bank on belief, empowering ambition with tailored financial solutions built around your business. Whatever your next move, we are here to help you grow. Access unsecured loans of up to 500 million Uganda shillings plus 6 months of free banking. Ku NCBA Bank, Chigwa Kuwerere. Visit any NCBA Bank branch today and unlock the momentum your business deserves.
NCBA Bank, go for it.
Uganda, are you ready for the biggest honey show in Africa? This August, Tunado welcomes the world to the 4th Africa Apimondia Symposium and Exhibition featuring honey show, apiculture, learning sessions, and business networking opportunities under the theme Beekeeping for Business and Livelihoods. Come join apiculture leaders, researchers, processors, investors, and food systems practitioners from across Africa and beyond. Come and be part of this historic gathering from the 25th to the 28th of August 2026 at Hotel Africana, Kampala. The 4th Africa Apimondia Symposium and Honey Show is organized by Tunado in partnership with Come, Network, Learn, Grow.
We don't need anyone's permission to move forward. What we need is the power to do it our way. Spiro is not your typical EV company. It's the power grid for African ambition. A network that connects Nairobi to Kigali, Lagos to Lome, Dar to Kampala. Not with cables and wires, but with clean, quiet, relentless movement. This is Africa, powered by us.
The Presidential Initiative for Skilling the Girl and Boy Child, a project under State House, informs all divisions of Kampala that registration for young girls and boys of the 15 to 35 years age bracket will take place on Thursday 13th of August 2026 with training starting on Monday 17th of August 2026 at the following skilling centers: Wandegea Market, Mulago Catholic Church, All Saints Church of Uganda Mutundwe, Nakulabye Chiwunya Our Lady of Fatima Catholic Church, Luzira Prisons at St. Stephen's Church of Uganda Luzira, Subway Crested Towers Roundabout, Wabigalo Parish Community Hall, Butikira Parish Catholic Church Chigowa Antinda, and Makere Chikoni Community Hall. Registration and training are free of charge. To register, bring a photocopy of your national ID or your parents' or the guardian's ID for minors, signed and stamped by the LC1 with their phone contact, plus 4 recent passport photos. For more information, call 0716 144 562 or 0414 343 457 and 0414 343 458.
Spice up your breakfast with Prestige Margarine, easy to spread and fortified with vitamins A, D and E in the original and vanilla flavor, turning everyday moments into quiet indulgence. And now a delightful new experience unfolds. Introducing Prestige Fruity, a luscious fusion of creamy spread and strawberry flavor, bringing everything you love into one simple, delicious layer. No extra spreads, just pure fruity satisfaction in every bite. Prestige Margarine, sprayed it, taste it, love it. Available in all shops and supermarkets nationwide. Distributed by Chapa General Enterprises, located at shop number 3, Rafik Building, Chikuwo, Kampala.
Cooking all that makes food sweet, tastes so good like mama's keys. Sweet tamasana, yeah. Stir God, it's the oil you need for a tasty meal to live a healthy, happy life. Stir God, refined, fortified, blended pure vegetable cooking oil, second best to a mother's love.
Your dog gives you their whole heart. So protect theirs with Sweeko Dog Insurance, because every slobbery kiss and happy tail wag deserves a lifetime of care. From accidents to illnesses, we're here to help. Statewide Insurance Company, protecting your family one paw at a time. For more details, visit www.sweeko.co.ug. Statewide Insurance Company is regulated by the Insurance Regulatory Authority of Uganda.
Welcome back. Let's jump over next door to Kenya. Now, as Kenya looks beyond the Vision 2030 era, President William Ruto says the country Vision 2030, the president said the proposed Vision 2060 offers Kenya a chance to correct what he described as a major weakness of Vision 2030, which is limited public participation. Brian Amwai reports that the country's new vision conversation is happening amid opposition from leaders against the president.
Kenya's Vision 2030 was launched in 2008 with the ambitious goal of transforming the country into a newly industrializing middle-income economy with a high quality of life for all citizens.
So Vision 2030 team.
18 years later, with the 2030 deadline drawing closer, the government has begun laying the groundwork for what comes next.
When we figured out Vision 2030, 20-something years ago, the world was much different from what we have today. Technology had not taken the space it occupies today. The advent of AI was not with us. We didn't have the serious effects of climate change the way we have today. We had a completely different situation. It is important that at this point in time, we give ourselves another opportunity to think about the long-term development of Kenya in the context of the world that we live in today.
Now, the conversation that focuses on Kenya beyond 2030 has already begun. A proposed roadmap expected to guide Kenya's economic transformation, governance, infrastructure, social development and competitiveness in a rapidly changing global economy. President William Ruto says the difference between the two blueprints is the Constitution.
When Vision 2030 was developed, it was developed before the new Constitution. The new Constitution provides us with a better and clearer framework on how to think long term.
The president noted that the 2010 Constitution makes public participation mandatory in decisions that affect the country's future. Ruto argued that many Kenyans never fully identified with Vision 2030 because they were not adequately involved in its formulation.
We have an opportunity this time round, different from the opportunity that was in 2008, to formulate a long-term plan, one that is done by the people.
He says the Beyond Vision 2030 process must therefore be people-centered, with citizens helping shape the country's priorities for the next 3 decades.
We want to pick the minds of everybody. Let them tell us what kind of future that we all want to think about.
The emerging Vision 2060 discussion is expected to assess both the achievements and shortcomings of Vision 2030's economic, social and political pillars, while also addressing new realities such as technology, climate change, jobs, healthcare and the global competitiveness. The government says consultations on Beyond Vision 2030 will continue across the country, with views from citizens, counties, the private sector and other stakeholders expected to inform the final Vision 2060 blueprint. The opposition has, however, poured cold water on Ruto's new vision, terming it theatrics that seek to hoodwink the public. Brian Amwai for Live at 9.
And now back home, as part of efforts to strengthen investigations into cybercrime, the National Information Technology Authority Uganda, or NITAU, has trained more than 100 police personnel from the Kampala metropolitan area in forensic investigations. The acting commissioner in charge of training at the Uganda Police Force says the training is aimed at enhancing the capacity of police officers who handled complaints at police stations.
Following an increase in the reported cases of cybercrime and IT-related offences in Uganda, the National Information Technology Authority Uganda, NITAU, has embarked on training police personnel from the Kampala metropolitan area. The first cohort has completed a 3-day capacity building training in forensic and cybercrime investigations at the Civil Service College in Jinja City. Moses Vyebaji, the acting commissioner in charge of training at the Uganda Police Force, described the training as timely, saying it will strengthen the capacity of police personnel to handle and investigate cybercrime.
There is capacity enhancement in the way they will be handling the issues at the police stations. And the officers, we drew them from Kampala metropolitan areas that include Mukono, Wakiso, and PG. And after this cohort, we shall also train more people.
On behalf of NITAU, Molshed Sengendo Dida, the activity manager for capacity building under the Uganda Digital Acceleration Project, said the training will be rolled out across the country to ensure police officers are equipped with the relevant skills to investigate cybercrime and other IT-related offences.
It's not only police that's going to benefit from this. It's the other phases that are in the pipeline that are really coming up that are meant to address further and more groups.
The Computer Misuse Act is very, very much still implementable. Even when the Amendment Act was repealed. And so it's very important for the police to know that they do have that framework within which they can use to charge offenders so that the citizens' rights are protected.
Dismiss moment.
Talk about Ugandans and taking advantage of opportunities and situations they should never do. So here we are to dismiss what should never even be part of the conversation. And in that regard, as you definitely can see on air, there is a bunch we need to be going through just right about now. And we're here to let you know that most of what you're seeing on social media is actually not as it is. And there you are. Sev Brian Semanda, aka Makona. People are just taking advantage of a situation for which they should never even get themselves involved in for very obvious reasons. So, as responsible Ugandans and as a media house, we're here to warn you of these individuals who are taking advantage of the plight of one of our colleagues. So there's no such a campaign anywhere near what we do know here at Next Media. That's not how we operate. So ignore these individuals.
Dismiss moment. Business Pulse, brought to you by
Now, DFCU Bank is offering up to 100% financing for personal vehicles and 90% for commercial vehicles under a new partnership with automotive solutions provider WQ and ICER Lion General Insurance. The financing package is aimed at making it easier for individuals, businesses, fleet owners and entrepreneurs and transport operators to acquire brand new vehicles and their productive assets without meeting the full purchase cost upfront.
Speaking during the launch of the partnership in Kampala, Gloria Namtewi Suna,
head of vehicle and asset finance at DFCU Bank, said demand for asset financing has increased as businesses acquire vehicles and equipment to support operations in sectors including trade, agriculture, construction and manufacturing. She said infrastructure development has increased demand for vehicles and equipment, particularly among contractors who require assets to execute projects.
We have quite a number of customers that have gone in agriculture. They need to transport their produce from one area to another. All that has contributed to the need for asset financing in this country.
She said Uganda's position as a landlocked country has created demand for trucks and other vehicles used to transport goods from the port of Mombasa through Uganda and to other markets.
This partnership is very key and it supports sustainability and green financing in Uganda because the assets that WQ is selling, some of them are electric vehicles and they do away with fuel. Some of them are hybrid. They use both fuel and electricity.
Under the new package, DFCU will finance up to 100% of the cost of personal vehicles and up to 90% for commercial vehicles. Sooner said personal vehicle customers can access repayment periods of up to 7 years. The financing rate is 2.8% for personal vehicles and 4.2% for commercial vehicles. The package also includes free servicing and maintenance for 2 years and a 5-year warranty for customers acquiring qualifying vehicles through WQ. ICE Airline General Insurance is also offering customers free vehicle tracking and motor vehicle insurance as part of the partnership. Richard Musani, head of marketing at WQ, said the partnership was developed in response to challenges customers face in financing new vehicles and equipment.
And whereas we are bringing zero-mileage cars to the Ugandan market, we appreciate the challenge that the market faces in terms of matters acquisition, matters financing. We want to buy a brand new vehicle, but we don't have the money. This is as to why we have now structured partnerships, and one of them is this one that we have launched today.
The same great cube that makes your beans tasty, now in a new pack. Get the Royco Cube Co-String at a duka or supermarket near you. Just pull, tear and crumble for the tastiest beans.
Tired of the limits? Tired of slow connections? It's time to break free. Introducing BCC Net from Blue Crane Communications. Choose the package that fits your life. BCC Lite, BCC Pro, and BCC Extreme. For every need, every moment. Learning, conferencing, gaming, and so much more. Switch to BCC Net today. BCC Net. Fast, reliable, and true unlimited internet. Blue Crane Communications is regulated by Uganda Communications Commission.
Alright, listen up. Colgate is on a mission.
It's kind of a big thing.
Colgate Herbal uses traditional nature's herbs and combines it with Colgate Science for healthy gums and strong teeth.
Colgate Charcoal Gentle Clean cleans and polishes teeth for a whiter smile and a naturally fresh and clean mouth. Choose natural. Choose Colgate Charcoal.
MTN voice bundle. Yeah. Load. Hey. Hello, Mama. Hey, it is me, your son, Opio. Hey, now, Mama, listen to me. MTN has the offer. Yes, it has the offer. You load from 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. Now, they have free MTN to MTN minutes.
And those minutes are there all day. So you load, you'll thank me later.
Load an MTN voice bundle between 7 a.m. and 8 a.m. and get 3 free MTN to MTN minutes valid all day. Dial *100 *21# and get your free minutes bully daily. Free your fire with free minutes from MTN. Together, our connection is unstoppable. MTN.
Looking for a vacation of a lifetime? Cross the equator and discover Pineapple Bay. Look at it on Bulago Island, right in the midst of Lake Victoria. Talk to us today.
Hey, travelers, are you a family gearing up for that big vacation, a hustler working abroad coming home, or your squad chasing sunsets and passport stamps? It's time you lock in. Say goodbye to long airport queues, shocking roaming bills, and the stress of hunting for local SIM cards, because now you can travel like a local. Stay connected in over 180 countries. Just scan, tap, and boom, instant data the moment you reach your destination. Get your Rogue Travel eSIM today at travel.roguetelecom.co.ug. Contact us on 020-5000123.
Billions are invested, promises are made, projects are launched. But what happens after the ribbon is cut? Are public funds delivering results? Are communities seeing the impact? Every Sunday, NBS Television follows the money, audits the promises, and examines the projects shaping Uganda with facts, evidence, and voices from the ground. Fixing Uganda. Auditing progress, demanding accountability. Every Sunday, only on NBS Television.
You know that somebody loves you when they go out there, find the best of things and wish it for you and want you to participate in whatever that is.
And this is one of these things?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
You being in charge of content. So scan the QR code and are you there in? Yes. Okay.
There we are.
There we are. So scan the QR code off your screen and then get yourself the MTN Television. And that's very much by Afro Mobile. Trusted and tried.
Yeah, you can definitely tune in to everything else that's going to be happening, whether that's from today or tomorrow.
If you get on the app, you prepare for tomorrow, and this is some of what you'll be watching. The Honorable Stephen Rubari, not Honorable, Stephen Rubari is a coffee exporter. Desire Muhoza is a State Minister for Agriculture, and Fred Muhumuza is a senior economist. And the trio is all happening on the Morning Breeze.
We're looking forward to that conversation. I'll be leading that, of course. I'll be asking very key questions, especially when it comes to coffee, the economy, and farmers. There's a big tension there to see how we're going to capture value.
Oh, you've gone straight to the Morning Breeze?
Absolutely, because we talk a lot about value addition, but we don't talk enough about value capture. How do we then, we can add value, but then not capture the value.
Very interesting conversations will be happening tomorrow. So remember to get your cell phone, get your grandmother on as well, and get your granddad on. And let me tell you the big one. If someone wants, you're a young girl moving around and then somebody asks for your phone number. Before you share your phone number, to know that the man is responsible or not,
scan here.
Check if he has the MTN TV app. If he doesn't, just dump the fellow. He's not serious with his life.
Well, while we're on our way, you can stay tuned right here. Deep Dive is coming up after this with Dalton Kawesa.
Well, tonight on Deep Dive, we examine one of the most influential professional bodies in Uganda, the Uganda Medical Association. Now, the association says it exists to protect doctors, promote professionalism, and improve healthcare. But critics increasingly ask whether that protection sometimes goes too far. In recent months, UMA has found itself at the center of controversy from disagreements with government over medical education reforms to strongly worded later protesting public criticism of doctors by supervising ministries. Yet some Ugandans argue that the association occasionally appears to defend doctors accused of misconduct and corruption. The recent allegation involving a former hospital administrator in Ntuusi Health Center for Zimbabwe has also increased the debate, although nothing yet has been concluded. So where should the line be drawn between protecting professionals and protecting the public? Tonight, we ask those questions with the president of Uganda Medical Association, Dr. Frank Rubabinda Asimwe. Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. Frank
Rubabinda
Asimwe.
It reminds me of the poet that wrote us one of those poems, Balo, and they had a very similar name. But let's come to deep dive into what is happening. What is WUMA lately up to, if I may ask?
Thank you very much for the opportunity to speak to the nation. I am in office for now the 7th month. Our initial plan was to engage government on a civil footing, calm, behind the scenes discussion, big picture kind of attitude. But lo and behold, like 3 months before we even came into office, government began throwing us off the balance. But as a seasoned surgeon, I am used to being called up in the middle of the night and enter into a messed up abdomen, bleeding all over. And when it's all done, all is well. So what are we up to? We have an emergency before us. But again, as doctors, we never lose focus of the bigger picture, the other patients, the other issues. So right now, what is on the table is the issue of the interns. But the bigger picture is professionalism, as you've said, and welfare.
Okay.
And we have a huge agenda, if only we can be given the opportunity to first get out of the limelight, go behind the scenes, sit in 2 boardrooms, see eye to eye, and speak at the same wavelength with those who wield power.
Okay, I was reading through the website of Uganda Medical Association, and one of the things, the core mandate is to protect the doctors. Yes. On the other hand, people have argued that it is important the medical association protects the patients. Which should come first?
They are all equal. Because when all is said and done, we, the doctors, are patients at one time or the other. So we cannot lose focus and say, oh, doctors, and we forget patients. So we look at both in the same measure. But maybe what skews it is when we are thrown into the limelight without being consulted. And it's like if someone comes to take your wife, your default is protect your wife, whether she has committed what crime or what crime. But if someone comes and calls me, let me use myself as an example, and says, Frank, your wife has been up to this, we've warned her this, now if she's crossing the line, then I can quietly say, okay, now, darling, go and talk to these people. I can even take her myself. But if I'm in my house sleeping and someone comes to my wife, I will fight until we quietly speak. So this showbizism that is happening, people showing up at 3 a.m. in hospitals and demanding to have the in charge. Where is the in charge of this? He's not on night. No. He should be here at night. How? And that's one problem. The second problem, we are being faced by people who don't know how the medical profession works. We're not angels. We err. But when you're handled by a fellow professional, they know what is an error and what's not an error. You find a lady on the ward with a hernia, and say, oh, this must be done immediately. This is an unobstructed hernia. It has never been an emergency. So if a fellow professional is the one handling that, he will say, oh, mama, what is the problem? Or it's a hernia. Okay, check. Oh, it's an uncomplicated hernia. So there is no emergency. But when someone who doesn't know the profession is the one putting you on the gallows, there is a problem.
Dr. Frank, ain't you becoming a shield for misconduct rather than being a guardian for professionals?
Thank you very much. We are aware of that possibility, but I actually don't know what particular cases you're talking about. Let's be a little bit more specific.
I can give you an Nishime.
Please do.
In Nishime, Zimbabwe, the in charge of the hospital, when he was handing over, it is reported on file that all the medical equipment he went away with. When it was highlighted, Medical Association came up in arms.
I'm not aware. I'm the president. I'm not aware of that case. And can I tell you how I would handle it?
You can't dismiss it if you're not aware. That means you're not doing due diligence.
Again, let's slow down, because again, we're on air. I am hearing that for the first time, in all honesty. So if one of my officials has handled it or mishandled it, then that's okay, we'll handle it. But let me tell you what I would do. I would pick the phone and call the in-charge, if he still has his phone. What is this I'm hearing? Secondly, if he's already incarcerated, I will go to wherever he's incarcerated and find out the circumstances. Not to exonerate him, but probably to give him an opportunity to plead his innocence or otherwise from his home. Because the law in Uganda assumes you are innocent until proven guilty. So the problem is allegations are made tantamount to guilt. And you've got the same person alleging, judging, and prosecuting. That's very wrong. So if we are brought into the picture at the time that the allegations come up, okay, even if the person is arrested, but we are made aware, my office is not, I am on call with my colleagues, then we can follow up behind the scenes.
Don't you have mechanisms
of the
yourselves?
News. We do. So it is in Zimbabwe.
Yes.
That is in
Nishime Health Center 4.
Yeah. But you know, you are in the news space, so you could know what I don't know. So I'm telling you that is voodoo.
All right.
But let's close on that one. That is voodoo. Off this show, I'm going to call the chair of voodoo branch and tell him I hear this, and then I will instruct my chair welfare and the chair professionalism. Can you please find out? And I will also deploy my lawyer. Now Uganda Medical Association has got a lawyer. Find out. We don't shield guilty people, not at all. But we don't want them to be harassed.
But you are averse to this impromptu supervision. What's wrong with that?
There is absolutely nothing wrong with that. For instance, if the Permanent Secretary Minister of Health walked into Mulago and looked for me at this moment, should she send a Kabanga to come and pick me that I'm absconding? She will have to go to the director, say, I have not found a SIM on station. Then my director will find the people on my ward, say, where is Dr. Simwe? Then they will say, oh, he came in the morning, saw his patients, and he said he was going for a show. But if without do that diligence, you come because you have got the means, and you sweep me off this show, to the media you seem to be right and doing the right thing. Instead of treating patients, he's in NBS. You seem to be right, but are you actually right? You're not. There is a problem there. How things are being done. And people are doing things for the show. And I must emphasize that. You find an obstetrician gynecologist and you are there lecturing him, doctor, please allow mothers to push. A senior consultant obstetrician gynecologist, and you're telling him when to judge when a mother should have a cesarean section or not.
But that is not true, at least from what that has not happened in the process. No, give us an example, because I'm very aware.
I don't miss my words. Honorable Hanifa Kawoya. She's the Minister of State in Health. She was telling that the senior consultant of Masaka Regional Referral, Omera, please let mothers push. A senior consultant, gynecologist, a man who is about to tell me he has put in 30 years of solid work, and you are the one, because you are a minister, you are the one advising him. That is wrong, and that's what must be corrected. So impromptu supervisions should be done by the appropriate supervisors. See what Dr. Balimonsi did. In Barara, yes. In Kabale, yes. Teams, medical teams know when they find a patient on the floor or a patient on the ward having not been operated, they can contextualize. That's what we are missing, because people want to make news.
When because someone is watching you and say, doctor, what is he talking about when you are suffering down there? He's heading the medicals. So when does defending due process cross the line to defending impunity?
if I say someone is not guilty when he's actually guilty, and I wouldn't do that. But when I'm saying, okay, you've indicted him for XYZ, please let him be released on police bond, and he faces the law. I think that is due. That's what is supposed to be done.
Okay. Otherwise, not doing that.
I'm doing
You're
it.
giving a blanket. Your statement is a blanket defense of impunity that is happening in the medical profession. And the producer would put it up and will read it verbatim.
No. First of all, if you are sticking the case of Zimbabwe, which I'm not aware of, I can quote for you other cases.
Please.
Without mentioning names, we have a colleague who was indicted in Nakaseke. He was in police cells for almost a week. When we got to know, I personally traveled there and pleaded that they let him out on police bond, and then he pleads his case. We don't participate in the pleading of the case, although we can give all that he was removed. We have got a colleague who was picked in Mbale. The only thing we begged initially was that, please, don't take him on a kabangali. And they obliged, brought him comfortably and put him in Ruzira. He's still in Ruzira. So that is what we do, and we've done that. We had our colleagues who were picked from Kawempe over a dead neonate, and they were taken to prison. And we went and prayed and said, please, get them out on police bond, let them plead their case from outside. That's what we do in Uganda Medical Association, and that's the right thing to do.
So if it's proved, the investigations, that this medical administrator actually defrauded government, would WUMA push for proper prosecution or deregistration?
Absolutely, everything to the letter. Deregistration, we don't entertain thieves. My colleagues, if you are a thief, your bat must be on ice in Ruzira. But then the due process must be accorded to our colleagues. And that's where the difference is. So if they are proven guilty through a due process, that's fine. They should freeze.
Okay. What message Ugandans are waiting to listen from you, Dr. Frank? What do you tell them, the ordinary Ugandan that is faced with fraud, being asked to pay money by doctors, yet government actually sends medical supplies to these institutions?
I wish we had started there, and I wish we could slow down and have an explanation. Let's work backwards. I was watching a clip of social media, I don't know whether it was yesterday or the other day, where the Honorable Minister of Local Government was giving money to the obstetrician gynecologist of Masaka, who was standing in for the surgeon, to buy a mesh for that lady to have her hernia surgery. The health sector is grossly underfunded. It is worse when you reach regional referrals and national referral hospitals. I've said this a time and again, and I will repeat it. Mulago, for instance, we're given only 10% of what we need. Not only do we get 10%, but specialized equipment and sundries are not a priority. I am a urologist. I do TURs. I use very special things. They're never stocked. So if I'm going to do TUR, I must ask a patient to procure these things. Now, we need to draw a line between asking Dalton to pay me for me to operate them, or for me to ask Dalton to procure this piece of consumable for me to be able to perform the surgery. Now, many people don't tell that difference. The patient don't tell that difference. The politicians who are playing the camera don't tell the difference. And finally, when Honorable Nammele realized that that money was not being asked for to put in the pocket, she said, okay, I'm going to pay for this mesh. I wish she had done the right thing by asking where those meshes are, getting a prescription for the mesh, and goes and purchases that mesh and brings it to the hospital. Because the Honorable Nammele, now you have fueled what you're trying to curtail. Because others are also going to give money to the doctor to buy this. So whether it says 200,000 or 250, we don't know. We avoid that. I avoid that. I will tell you right on the camera, I am a urologist. Three-way catheters are never stocked. Double J stents are never stocked. What I do is tell the patient, this is what you need.
Okay.
Therefore, these are the suppliers. Let me finish this point. Please talk to this supplier, let them bring. I never take any patient's money. The patient pays the money of the supplier, and gets the piece of equipment and hands it over to me. But you know, even that one can be misconstrued, that this is my man, I've stood. We are grossly underfunded. Go to Bahrain.
We'll come back to that. We'll come back to that. Yes, Doctor, thank you, Frank. We'll take a break and we'll return. The doctor is speaking up here. We want to get down here where we're talking about paracetamol.
You are the one who started us up here.
Where the medical doctors and basic medicine, they are sending them to their own pharmacies. Stay here.
The parent is Tuliahewa Dixon. And the child is Ani Tuliahewa Esther.
Kambera kambweri gwete kwa mchisha ngo ishe watu yahewa Esther wahangura school fees ngene na hateja shana amashemero kwa gonka MTN momo eberewo mbeni nyegasta igana kaga ni 5 sta manana 0 hash kushashuro mwana school fees tokoma nyo muchisheri zagwije wanje ninga nchaka ngwasa kuzo wawe mwebare munonga.
With Kanzali plus Mchuzi, you get the perfect pot of flavor and taste with the superior ingredients of the new Royco 2-in-1 mix. Enjoy the Kathufu mix.
The Miss Uganda 2026 journey to the crown is calling. Are you confident, intelligent, ambitious, and ready to represent the Pearl of Africa? Register now. Log on to missuganda.org. Celebrating 15 years of true Ugandan beauty. Follow the search on StarTimes Makula Chika starting 31st of July every Friday to Sunday at 8 p.m. Sponsored by partner sponsors V&A Sherry, Vaseline, U-Home, 7 Days International, Evervest Malt, and the lead sponsor, Opain Uganda. Alcohol is not for sale to persons under the age of 18. Please drink responsibly.
King Saha was a King Saha. Katana Lumis Colonel, Mutonaka Colonel Festival. Gakumina Anga Sinkum Piramid Mukaga. You name Colonel Airstream, Poking him to a minute. He paid me to Aletano. He made them Kadam Santu. What would I Yobutano? King Saha, Yuka TV, NBS TV, NBS Music, Yuka Tunes, Capital FM Uganda, the big farmer.
Why pay for someone else's repairs? Say goodbye to hidden costs and hello to peace of mind of a brand new start. Discover the Suzuki range of unmatched, fuel-efficient and reliable options. From the iconic Jimny to the new Across Hybrid. Find the perfect blend of style and world-class efficiency. Upgrade today and enjoy 1 year of free fuel and comprehensive insurance, plus 2 years of free service and a 3-year warranty. Trade in your current car or choose financing to start driving as you pay installments. Don't wait. Visit the Suzuki showroom today or call 0800-211-033 to get started.
From the grandest stage, the badges change, but the passion remains. It's a special goal! Come at the hour! Come at the man! This football is from the heavens. What a story this is!
10 months of drama lie ahead. The stage is set.
The biggest stars from the world's biggest leagues on SuperSport. It's on GoTV.
Don't let your mornings be boring.
It's World Chimpanzee Day. These are our cousins. We can't run away from it, guys.
Yeah, man.
These are our cousins.
Just official kokana ya wasiga the money.
And one thing that you should know, just like some of you over the weekends when you are together having a good time as man and woman, chimpanzees greet each other with hugs and kisses. Shockingly, you might find some chimpanzees kiss better than some humans.
It's the Morning Switch on 106.1 Next Radio.
Welcome back to the Deep Dive. My name is Dalton Kawesa with Dr. Frank. As we want to understand what is happening. At the time we went for a break, we're looking at the medical supplies vis-a-vis the actions on the mannerism and behavior of doctors. Yes, before we went for a break, doctor, you talked about especially your field. But the normal cry, NDA, not NDA, Uganda, National Medical Stores, has said it supplies medicine according to the requests of a given place. When you go to rural areas where they don't need this medicine that we're talking about, maybe what the president calls the diseases of what? He calls them diseases of, I'm forgetting the right word he uses. They're looking for basic medicine. And the doctors allegedly hide those medicines. Have you received such reports?
I have been a doctor for the last 30 years. I've worked in the rural areas, and I'm now working in town. National Medical Stores supplies basic drugs. Diseases don't know basic. Dalton, when you have a headache, and NMS has supplied paracetamol, and I give you paracetamol and it's not working, I must prescribe something different. PA12, tramadol, and so on and so forth. So if I am going to say, Dalton, you are my friend, you are my patient, but you must only take Panadol. You come back the next day, doctor, it has not changed. Please take Panadol. What am I doing? That's a dilemma. So in addition to being given a small budget, let's just analyze, and I hope this show could be long and I break it down for you, because that's what we are missing. We are into excerpts and small clips, to make headlines. I've told you Malago gets 10%. Mbara gets 5%. They want 53 billion, but they're given 2.8 billion. When you do the math, that's 5%. Let's break it down. That means when the NMS truck drives in and is offloaded, drugs come in boxes and they look massive. But what they've brought is basically 5%. A quarter is 3 months, and 3 months is 12 weeks. 5% of 12 weeks is 6 days. So what the truck has just delivered is for 6 days. So even before they finish entering the thing, not even offloading, stock taking, the guys who have been missing all this, they will come and take and take and take. So while the truck is reaching Sega, returning to Entebbe, the things are finished or getting finished. And then, Honorable Namele, forgive me for using your name, Honorable. Please forgive me.
No, she's a public servant.
She's a public servant,
yes.
And we share a few things. I will tell you one time when we were in a show together. So when Honorable Namele comes and says, I participated in the offloading of drugs 1 month ago, you know what she's saying? Yes, you did. But the things you offloaded that day were for 1 week. Let's dissect into they supply what they want, what they have requested for. So when we make our wish list, we call it a wish list. It's not wishful thinking. What we actually need. So Mbarara will put in its order for a wish list of 53 billion. They'll be given 2.8 billion. Now, their request is supposed to fit in the 2.8 billion. Is that what they actually need? No. That is what their first request. So NMS will have supplied according to their request, but the request is for the 2.8 billion. The 5%, the things which are supposed to last 6 days instead of 12 weeks. So when Honorable Namele says that, I offloaded, where are these things? They were consumed. So, scenario, Dalton, you come on day 7, and whatever was given in the even the mighty paracetamol we're talking about, which Honorable Namere offloaded and saw herself 15, 20, 60 boxes, is gone because the time has expired. And then when you come in and say, I need paracetamol, and I tell you paracetamol is finished, you say, oh, you're hiding it. Hide paracetamol. That's the dilemma. The Ministry of Health is grossly underfunded unless and until we reach 15% of the national budget. That's the measure. We are going to continue wallowing in this discussion.
So, in the event that this, because medical stores convinced everyone that actually they supply what you need.
For the 2%, you see, they supply according to the budget which has been approved.
Not what the hospital needs.
No! I'll tell you that the budgeting cycle, begins in September. That's when you do our wish list. By Feb, they have gone the back and forth, and now they go to the final one when they cut it according to how much money there is, in quotes, according to how much percentage they want to allocate to the Ministry of Health. So by the time the budget is passed, they have cut it what they want, and that's the one they want you to stick to. So NMS can convince us all they want, and if they are truthful, they also know the process, that they only supply the amounts which are in the budget, and the budget, if you take it, the gross picture is only 6%, which goes to the Ministry of Health, or 7%, it is supposed to be 15%. That's where the problem is.
Well, let's engage again. Look at government is suggesting some reforms in the medical profession. I want to pick your point of view from that.
You need to be a little bit more specific. But if you're talking about internship, I can dive in.
Yes.
Oh, they are. Oh God have mercy on me, because the only words that come in my head is shambolic and draconian. But I have sought to the face of the Lord, and I want to ask for forgiveness for those who have been offended by that word. But while you are receiving my apology, please pray that I get a replacement word. That policy was ill-designed. Why? They did not consult us. When you look at that policy, you look at their SWOT, when they analyze the problem, that SWOT is actually very good. They talk about increasing the doctor-patient ratio, aiming at the recommended 1 to 1,000. We're at 1 to 25,000. They talk about raising the budget to health towards the Abuja Declaration, 15%. But then when they come to the recommendation, it's like someone just took over and just brought their own script.
Forgot about the SWOT.
Yes, that's what happened. So let's follow the same line on human resource. If you want to increase the human resource from the current 1 to 100, 1 to 25,000 and reduce it, how do you then say that the universities are producing too many doctors? It just doesn't add up. If anything, in the SWOT, they said Uganda should be producing 45,000 doctors per year. We're now producing only 2,000. We are 38,000 doctors short. But when the recommendations came, whoever was high on whatever they were high on said, oh, no, the universities are producing too many, and we even have no money to pay them. Therefore, according to the minister's proclamation the other day, we are only going to support those who were privileged already to be supported by government in the undergraduate. Those for whom their parents sold their land, took loans, made some of their siblings sit at home waiting for this one to finish, sell more land, take more loans to support them in the internship period. Now let's dive into the internship period. Interns are not students. They are not learning. They are not students, as in students. Learning never ends. All of us are learning. I am learning at my job. Internship is the first time that a medical professional who is qualified, because you must pass exams, you must be registered by the council, is working for the first time and making a prescription which is binding, making decisions which are binding. So I'll scenario for you, just give me 1 minute scenario for you. When the interns come, they are supposed to be reporting. The first 1 week, they are on my neck. I am on their neck. I am seeing them. I am following them up to introduce them to the different conditions. I'm a urologist. To help them differentiate between a urethral stricture and a BPH, between a UTI and a nephritis, ABC. By the second week, I'm beginning to step back and see, are they able to do it? Remember, they've had 5 solid years. Of those 5 solid years, 3 of them, they were on the wards, seeing these things but not making any binding decisions. They actually clerk and make reports, and I mark them. It's only when their clerkship is correct, that I give them marks. So if they were making wrong decisions all along, they would not have passed. But because they were making right decisions, except they were not being affected, now they pass. So by the second week, I begin stepping back.
Let me try to understand what you're saying. So why do you think this could cause the reform, especially on internship, is more harmful than just to emphasize it than good?
I don't know where those guys, what they were high on. Like, I wish I could find other ones, because the solutions they're proposing are not realistic. Okay, let's just take two of them. One, saying that these are going to be medical students, that the internship here is part of the undergraduate. When you come to the ward and you are not Dr. Dalton, you don't have a license, you've not been released by your university. That's what a student is. I'm not going to give you responsibilities.
Yes.
So that means your internship training will be curtailed, because now you're supposed to learn by doing. I will not allow you to learn by doing. In fact, you're wasting my time, because I cannot even classify you. So I'll come, let you write things. I say, put them in your pocket, go, cut, let me see my patients. Secondly, the reforms, quote unquote, are saying they should not be given any upkeep. I don't get. When I walked here, you gave me a glass of water, at least so that I don't dry my mouth. You come on the ward. I usually reach my ward at 7:30. I expect my intern to be there. That means they must have woken up at 5 like I did, but may I have to drop children? For them, they come direct, and they must have arrived at 6:30 or 7. How do you expect someone to walk from wherever they are staying, be on the ward in time? The rain season is coming. Weather the storm, literally, be on the ward for 48 hours. This is how the duty roster goes for the interns, and I'll finish with this. Let's say that this is day 1. That when you come with your fellow interns, let's say you are 3. At 5, one of you is on call. If you are the one on call, it means you're going to remain from 5 up to 8 a.m. in the morning. You are the one on call. Now, 8 a.m. in the morning, you give a report, but you don't go home. If this was Monday, now Tuesday, you also participate in the work up to 5 o'clock. You may have calls back to back, which is fine. Now, that means if you're also on call on Tuesday, again, Tuesday, you do the same until Wednesday. If you have 3 consecutive calls, it means you flow up to Thursday. That's the life of the intern. When is he going to get extra money to take care of themselves?
All right. Beyond the criticism, what are the solid reforms you've proposed as Yuma to government?
That we have proposed? Oh, thank you very much. Deploy all the interns. And we want to thank government because they've done that. 2,417 all deployed. Last year, 2,700 and something were all deployed. Very good. Pay all. Like I was just explaining, someone needs to have a livelihood. And government needs to be the payer of the piper, so they can call the tunes. Even if this person is having a livelihood, if it is the father paying that livelihood, the father can call him, say, you come and we dig today for you for the money. If it is a sugar daddy, he say, you come and pay for the goods you are eating. So government must be the caller of the payer of the piper for them to call the tunes. So pay all. 3, there are four demands. 3, pay them a money that is commensurate with the living economic standards right now. In 2017, we went to His Excellency and explained, and he agreed with us, that interns should get 2.5 million. It was implemented 5 years later and was withdrawn. Let us go back to that, because we don't have any new list from government, any new directive from the president saying we reverse that, and the conditions are still the same. Finally, who works every day but is paid after 3 months? It just doesn't add up. Interns, now, if they report, they are reporting in August, they work September, and then they're going to be paid in October. What are they doing in September? Someone here is in Kampala. He is deployed in Kabale. He must transport his livelihood, his suitcase in Ebigendako to Kabale on his own money. Find accommodation on his money. Pay for himself on his money. For 2-3 months, and then you reimburse. Is that not fueling corruption?
Surely. As we go for a break, I want to ask something briefly on can Uganda achieve universal health coverage without fundamentally altering how it recruits and retain doctors?
No, there's something that must change. For instance, the ban on recruitment must go. 1. 2, the pay.
How long is that ban? so far?
Oh my goodness. Probably early 2000s, maybe 2008, 2010. It's been so long that we're so used to it. It's like the 1.5 points for the girls. Since the 1900s, 1990s, it has been there. So it has been for so long that, Frank, I now cannot be promoted. I am due for promotion. I have been a consultant for the last 7 years, since 2019. In 2022, I was due for promotion. But someone either has to die or retire. If none of that is happening, or if none of that can be organized, we can organize for someone's retirement or someone's departure. If I am not able to organize for that, I will remain in this post because there is no new recruitment. They're only replacing those who die or retire. That is the first shift that must happen. Because the doctor-patient ratio is stuck at 2 out of for 25,000. And Dalton, we are starving in the midst of plenty. If the current doctors that are unemployed or underemployed, because I'm underemployed, I'm employed as a consultant and yet I'm working as a senior consultant. If that ban can be lifted, you'll see our doctor-patient ratio drop to 1 to 12,000 or even 10,000.
All right. Thank you very much. Let's take a break. When we return, we shall be the final segment as we talk to Dr. Frank and the controversies that find the Uganda Medical Association therein. Stay here.
Every story begins in silence. In a village, along a street, in the heart of a dreamer no one notices. Yet stories hold the remarkable power to inspire, transform, and shape the future. The Uganda Film Festival, UFF, is back under the theme Transformation, the Power of Local Stories, to boldly celebrate creativity and talent that transforms our nation. Starting 21st to 28th August, enjoy the latest Ugandan films in cinemas and select screening venues and vote for your favorite films. Don't miss out on the transformational film workshops designed to inspire growth and creativity. Join us on 28th August to recognize, celebrate, and honor excellence in the film industry at the glamorous UFF Awards ceremony. For more information, call our toll-free number 0800 222 777, powered by the Uganda Communications Commission.
Every tricolor flag tells a story. Every anthem stirs a memory. Every Independence Day reminds us of the courage, sacrifice, and unwavering spirit that shaped a nation. This 79th India Independence Day, celebrate with Radio Wala by sharing your personalized Independence Day message across Radio Wala, Next Radio, and NBS TV, reaching thousands across Uganda and beyond. Join us in honoring the spirit of freedom while showcasing your brand as part of this meaningful celebration. Special India Independence Day advertising packages start from 1 million Uganda shillings. Reserve your spot today. Call or WhatsApp 0774 290 800. Radio Wala. Let's play.
Billions are invested. Promises are made. Projects are launched. But what happens after the ribbon is cut? Are public fans delivering results? Are communities seeing the impact? Every Sunday, NBS Television follows the money, audits the promises, and examines the projects shaping Uganda with facts, evidence, and voices from the ground. Fixing Uganda, auditing progress, demanding accountability. Every Sunday, only on NBS Television.
You've been searching long enough. Come with me. This isn't just any other platform. This is a place where every turn leads to something exciting. Feel like escaping? There are thousands of action movies on Afro Action. Drama series, binge-worthy stories on Afro romance, all waiting for you. What is it that you're looking for out there that you can't get in your home?
I'm looking for peace. I'm looking for happiness.
Got little explorers? Here's a world built just for them. Cartoons, learning, adventures, safe family content they'll never want to leave. Need some adrenaline? Sports action. Match highlights, expert analysis, exclusive stories. And what about the world around you? Staying informed is now as easy as pressing play. Or maybe you'd rather just listen to a great conversation.
What's a 23-year-old doing driving a Range Rover? They should be running.
Movies, sports, kids content, live TV, current affairs, all in one place. This is MTN TV by Afro Mobile. Stream more, discover more, live more.
Too many ads? Expensive subscription? You deserve better. And artists, thousands of plays, but nothing to show for it. This ends now. Introducing Yugatunes, the new home of your favorite music on Afro Mobile. Listeners, stream your favorite songs ad-free at no cost. Artists, earn from every stream. Withdraw your royalties anytime from as low as 20,000 Uganda shillings. This is music that pays off. This is music that belongs to you. Yugatunes, your sound, your stage, your reward.
One by one makes a bando. United Media is your gateway to a country.
Well, quite interesting. Thank you for still staying with us here on the Deep Dive. My name is Dalton Kawesa, and I am with the president of Uganda Medical Association, Dr. Frank Asimwe. We've been delving deep into what is happening in the medical sector while defending even the corrupt. Obviously, the public must not be very happy with this. But Dr. Frank has offered an explanation, but they would not actually condone the corruption that we see in some sectors perpetuated by some medical officers. To the ban, also government needs to look at the ban. Okay, Dr. Frank, if you appointed the Minister of Health today, what two major reforms would you undertake?
Thank you very much. I take that as a prophecy and I receive it as such. I am a lastborn. Usually my things are delayed. So if your prophecy is fulfilled 15 years from now, I will still be alive. I still have 66 more years to live. So thank you for the prophecy. Two reforms. One, lift the ban on recruitment. That means employ all current interns, pay them. And the interns who have just finished this year, 2,000 of them, 2,700. And last year, 1,400. And the previous year, about 1,000. Deploy all of them, absorb them. So lift the ban on recruitment. But this is number two. The first one, I will tell you, I'll speak to the camera. Your Excellency, if you invited me and said you're appointing me minister, the first thing I will tell you, Excellency, is that increase the budget on health to 15%. If not, no, thank you. I'm not taking the offer. And I'm serious. Because short of that, and my colleagues at the Ministry of Health, they know it. They are sitting ducks. And because they have been appointed and they are very appreciative, they can't talk. But they're being given a very hard job. Imagine you're driving a V8 and I give you 10,000 to go to Kabale. How do you go there? Not even a bus can take that money.
So have you had this conversation?
Two, yes, we have. But also they are failing to synergize. They are looking at us as threats. I don't know why. Maybe because we are older than some of them. But forget that. Two reforms. Increase the budget to health, first and foremost. That will take away the proverbial NMS, how much are you procuring, how much are you giving. That will be resolved. Two, lift the ban on recruitment. Then everything else will fall in place. If you ask me for two, I'll just give you two. If you want more, I'll give you more.
No. I mean, just on that, the PS in the ministry is a medical doctor. Have you had these conversations with her as a leader, and what does she say?
Yes, I have. All of them are not just fellow medical doctors. They are my friends. From Honorable Bayumunsi, to Honorable Bayume, to Honorable Jenna Cheng, to Honorable, who else? To Dr. Diana Atwine, to the DG, Dr. Forgotten his name. My boss, how can I forget your name? But all of them are my friends. And we've had this conversation, and they know the truth. Just look at the current Ebola crisis. Do you know how much money was being rained? They told us the money was too much that even had to mention it in dollars. They say we have $9 million US, but it is not enough. What? Just sort out 2 patients, 2 deaths, and 15, I don't know how many, 15 or 20 admissions. Just that. Health is not cheap. It's like defense. Soldiers need AK-47s. They need balaclavas to hide their identity because they're now doing funny things. They need bulletproof vests. And so is health. It is not cheap. Stop giving us just for just. We need 15% of, and let's do the 15%. Those who can do the math quickly. If the current budget is how many trillions? 70, I don't know how much.
When you speak to Dr. 15%. Who holds the money? Is she also concerned about these issues you raised?
They are bound by corporate responsibility. They cannot veer away from what has already been agreed on. They cannot oppose it, but I can. Until I'm also appointed and sign the same non-disclosure, whatever, then I'll shut up. But before I shut up, give health the money it needs, and you'll see Dr. Diana is a performer. Dr. Jenna Cheng is a performer. Dr. Bariomus is a performer. Dr. Ayume, all those are performers. But you leave a chinuso of 500 on a kameza and you want to come back and have fish and chips. No! These guys are in trouble. And yet they have to defend the indefensible. That's the dilemma of the Minister of Health. So my 2 take-homes, increase the budget of the Minister of Health to 15%. Oh, I'm not unrealistic. Let us see a roadmap. That this year, we're at 6%. Next year, we'll be at 8%. The next year, by the next, we move by election cycles. By the next election cycle, at least we'll be at 12 or 11. I don't see that. The same with recruitment. We say, okay, there are now so many, we cannot recruit all of them. Okay, let's see a roadmap. That this financial year, we're recruiting 2,000. The next financial year, we're recruiting another 2,000. And by the next 5 years, we'll have absorbed all. We don't see that. Whether they have it or not, I don't know. But we don't see it. Those are the 2 challenges we have in the Ministry of Health.
What concerns you most about the future of medical profession in this country?
No, I'm not bothered. I'm not worried. Hey, we have seen worse. Even this will come to an end. Yes. I will tell you why I'm not worried. The human resource is there. Okay? The human resource, the numbers are there. The expertise is there. I will tell you right now, and I will pass on the Kalango. We have done 15 successful transplants in Mulago. In September, we're doing another transplant episode. And in November, we're doing another transplant. That's happening. Hitherto unknown. Next year, we're doing our first liver transplant. And next year, that's Mulago. After we've done our first liver transplant, we're now going to be able to do our first bone marrow transplant. I know others have done it in Uganda, but Mulago will also start. Cornea transplant. We're now doing laparoscopic surgery. I am about to go for training, and not on government. I'm about to go for training on robotic. The future is bright. It can only be slowed down. It can only come by us raising our voices. But if it means raising our voices, we'll raise our voices because we see where we are going. And these shambolic shenanigans you are unleashing on us are not taking us there. And finally, I think His Excellency is not very well advised. I'm sorry to say, if I'm wrong, please forgive me. And I saw some soldiers out there. I hope they won't carry me with my belt and my head upside down. He is kept in a bubble of information, made to believe this internship. Someone convinced, and me, I don't tell lies. I don't speak behind people's back. Someone informed His Excellency that interns are students. Since when? And unfortunately, these are people who did internship.
Do you know who said that?
Leave me alone. My children are still young. Someone told His Excellency that interns are students. Your Excellency, that is wrong. Someone told His Excellency that parents and sponsors of students, while they are doing medical school training, can continue paying for them. No. Remember medical life. You are in a hostel, you are in student life, you are eating kawunga and whatever. Now they are deploying you in Kalangala, in Mbale, in Moroto, in Yumbe. I don't know whether you've gone to Yumbe. Yumbe, you literally cross 3 worlds. When you reach Karuma, the known Uganda ends. You enter the national park, you're in another world. You reach Arua, it's like you've reached another world. You set off from Arua to go to Yumbe. You reach Koboko, another world ends. Now you're heading for Yumbe. Another world begins. It takes like 12 hours to go to Yumbe. You are sending someone to Yumbe to say, Genda where he. And then a Dalton walks in with his tie and has his hernia. You think he will not ask for Kintu Kidogo? When he's genuinely hungry? You think he will not play delaying games? Why are we tempting the doctors?
Okay.
And yet the money is there.
And for the record, I don't have hernia. But,
No, you don't have hernia. But no. And yet the money is there. We've seen people make money flow in billions. Do you know how many zeros are on a billion? You see that someone has just spent just 4 billion to buy a car. Ugandan money is there. Don't tell us there's no money. Money is there.
So doctor, I have friends that are medics like yourself, who, at least for you, have been somewhere. They are fresh and their morale has gone down. They're contemplating on leaving the country to go and serve somewhere. What would you tell them?
First of all, I would apologize on behalf of the country, because your country is letting you down. Times have never been rosy. But unfortunately, there is an orchestration to make times unnecessarily hard. There was a time when people were leaving the country for fear of their lives. Okay?
Yes.
In the 1970s, I've got very senior colleagues. You find cohorts who are obliterated because people left for fear of their lives. At least we don't have that now. There is peace. You can even start your own quackery and thrive. There was a time when that was banned. So it's very unfortunate that even the most obvious, the most simple motivation that could have been done is being unnecessarily held back. But better times are on the horizon.
Okay.
On Monday, Cabinet is sitting to resolve this impasse. And I want to appeal to Cabinet members. Please, some of these interns are your children. Some of these interns will treat you. Imagine your child moving to hospital hungry. Imagine an intern who is going to treat you coming when they are hungry. And I have deployed them. Because you're a honorable member, I tell my intern, sit next to that honorable and make sure you don't go away. And they're hungry. And the family is bringing fruits and KFC and Cafe Javas. And he's hungry. Won't he lift one of the chickens and walk away with it? If your wallet drops, won't he pick it? Aren't you tempting them? So Cabinet, Monday is the day. And we are waiting for that announcement Monday evening. Once that announcement comes, in Jesus' name, we're going to rejoice. And we are appealing the higher power. By the way, this evening, there's a prayer evening. I have mobilized 2 cohorts of interns. The incoming are 2,400. The outgoing are 2,700. We are praying.
From where?
Tumuleke. Online. We are praying online. Until sense reigns in the heads of those who are supposed to deliver justice and reason.
The way you speak, is it a problem of leadership at Ministry of Health?
I don't think that much, but the problem is underfunding. So whether the Ministry of Health officials are not speaking as vehement as I'm speaking,
then it becomes a leadership problem.
That's your conclusion to make. Whether they are bound by their appointments, not speak the way I've spoken, but someone is not convincing the powers that be to put more money. Let's just end with this. How much money has been put to defense? Classified. How much money has been put to security? Classified. How much money has been put to your excellency's convoy and well-being? Classified. Because those areas you cannot compromise. You must give them the money they need. Whether in cash or in checks or in bullions or in whatever, the money must be there to run those things. Someone has refused or failed to elevate health to that level. That you must give health, you must give Honorable Bariumunsi, Honorable Bayume, Dr. Diana, the money they need to run the health system.
All right, finally, very finally, what promise do you give to Ugandans, not doctors, Ugandans that will walk into a health facility hoping to come out cured?
Thank you very much. I have been a doctor for the last 30 years. I've walked through all the ranks from intern to consultant, supposed to be senior consultant. All doctors have a heart to save lives. Forget what we are saying. None of the doctors will eat your food. They would rather drop dead. We are professional, and when you walk in, all these problems notwithstanding, will be professional and walk out cured. However, if something is not there, we're not going to force on you what is available, just because that's what's available. If your headache needs PA12, needs tramadol, and I don't have tramadol, and I only have Panadol, I'm not going to keep giving you tramadol, Panadol. I'm going to tell you that your headache needs tramadol. Please go and purchase tramadol. And when you oblige and go and buy that tramadol, you will be cured. And that money is not going into my pocket, and I have no relation. I don't even have money to invest in those pharmacies. The accusation that they keep throwing at us, that we are sending them to our pharmacies. Which money does the doctor have to invest?
You connive with the businessmen.
No.
That own these pharmacies.
No, not at all. Not at all. First of all, we give the prescription open to the patient to make a choice where they want to go.
And you tell them,
let me give you the solution. Finally, let me give you the solution. Because if I know where the medicine is, I will direct you there. But let me give you the solution. Every hospital is supposed to have a private wing. Can we functionalize those private wings? Invest, even if you invest $500 million, they create a pharmacy in the hospital. It will buy the right drugs, put the correct markup, save you the journey to cross the road and bump into a ferry, and that way, whatever is not available on the general list will be available in the private pharmacy. I don't know why that has not been implemented.
So you would rather we go cost sharing than...
Absolutely. Cost sharing was moved for political reasons. I don't know why, for political reasons. For us, when we're trying to save lives, we don't talk about politics. If that drug, I'll talk about Mulago. If the drugs and the people of First Pharmacy, please don't be annoyed with me. If the drugs in First Pharmacy were within Mulago, there would be absolutely no sweat, because that money would actually go back to Mulago. That money can go to incentivize the interns, can go to incentivize the consultants, can go to buy things that are not available on the general list. So let us privatize, let us functionalize the private units. Let's return cost sharing. Because, Dalton, so you say you have no hernia. Whatever you have or you don't have, if you walk in and I tell you, for you to have this procedure done, you need to pay $500,000, 500,000. And that 500,000 is received by a cashier, receipted. You have your operation. That 500,000 buys whatever is not available, and whatever is remaining is agreed on that is going to be incentivized the doctors. So at the end of the month, they say we've collected 10 million. Asimo, take 500. Dalton gets so and so. Formally, and in fact, to conclude this, we are proposing at Uganda Medical Association.
Doctor, you're talking about a person in Namawasa who has never held 100,000.
That is what you think. So what are they doing right now?
Yes.
What are they doing right now? How are they surviving? People have money. Bonabagagawale has come. Operation Wealth Creation has come. PDM has come. Why? To make people not rich in quotes, but at least be able to afford services. And which is the most important service, other than health service. People have the money, but it will be customized to the center.
Well, thank you very much. The relationship between government and doctors and the public has never been more important. At its heart lies a simple but profound question. How do we protect those who save lives while ensuring they remain fully accountable to the people they serve? Our thanks to the President of Uganda Medical Association, Dr. Frank. Thank you for making time to speak to us, and definitely for joining Deep Dive. My name is Dalton Kawesa. Thank you for watching. Good night.
Thanks for tuning in. Your feedback is highly valuable. Scan the QR code to share your thoughts.
NBS. Always.
Well, the morning of my Kuchala, my traditional visit, I took a picture with Douglas Rwanga, a colleague at office, and the news said Douglas Rwanga had got himself a new wife. Stop spreading fake news. You don't know, you might destroy someone's marriage from just that hot story you want to put out. Dismiss fake news. Inquire, verify, confirm. Together, let's fight fake news.
Breaking now. Now Post delivers Uganda's fastest, accurate news as it happens. From hard-hitting headlines to exclusive interviews, we bring details of stories everyone is talking about. Accurate, fast, and balanced. Get every update at nowpost.co.ug. Follow us on Facebook, X, Instagram, TikTok, and never miss a moment. The Now Post. Accurate news, fast. Billions are invested. Promises are made. Projects are launched. But what happens after the ribbon is cut? Are public fans delivering results? Are communities seeing the impact? Every Sunday, NBS Television follows the money, audits the promises, and examines the projects shaping Uganda with facts, evidence, and voices from the ground. Fixing Uganda, auditing progress, demanding accountability. Every Sunday, only on NBS Television. And opportunity.
Teko mu kaweefube waffe owalinnya step leero ffenna tulabe nti buli lugendo luggwa bulungi tusange ku mitimbagano omanyi nkyukakyuka gy'osobola okuleeta ng'okozesa hashtag yaffe hashtag linnya step.
Always.
Hello and welcome to Made in Uganda, where we celebrate and explore the richness of our locally produced goods. I am Isabella Tugumi, and today we look at securing regional markets for Uganda's homegrown products. With increasing competition and evolving trade dynamics, how can we ensure our products and services become trusted brands across East Africa and beyond? And how do we fix the tariff and non-tariff barriers hampering trade of Ugandan-made goods across borders? It's an honor hosting you on this episode of Made in Uganda, Mr. Kanyije. Today we want to discuss securing regional markets for Ugandan products. How competitive are Ugandan products compared to those in the neighboring countries?
Competitiveness of our product in terms of nature is very good, but in terms of trade, our products are not competitive. And first of all, they are not there even. We talk of good products, but the standards are too low to any of East African country. So the competitiveness in terms of standards and products well put and well produced and delivered in quantities, we are still far from the other countries, Kenya, Tanzania, and Rwanda. Yes. What products or sectors have a lot of potential for growth in the East African markets, and why? Of course, horticulture has, if I can say, horticulture industry has a big potential for both for food, for processing, and for export elsewhere. So the horticulture industry is very competitive, and it will do much better. It will increase the Ugandan employment if the standards, the infrastructure is put in place. As of now, it is still very low, I have to say, the way it is. So some of the things we can say they can be improved, but they need investment. There is totally no investment, and I think government should think about this one, because all the things we are talking about down here, down there, is because there is no investment, there is no capital to support people to move. Yes. What improvements in logistics and transportation do you believe will facilitate smoother trade within the region? Of course, the railway line will improve the trade in our neighboring countries like Rwanda, Burundi, Tanzania, Kenya, Southern Sudan. It will actually improve railway line, and also if we can improve on air transport, because you find connecting to our own is a problem. There are a lot of delays to go to Kenya or come back than if you are going to America. There is a quick service, but when you want to fly in our region, sometimes some places, sometimes you are delayed 7 hours, sometimes they don't even come, you go fly the following day. So the logistics or the services in our regional area is need to improve, because it requires a lot of inputs from other stakeholders.
As one of the country's biggest exporters, what non-tariff barriers do you encounter, and how best can they be mitigated?
I can say they are mainly the two: logistics and standards. Standard is actually a barrier for trade for us. Standards. I can say standards.
All right. Elaborate on the standards.
Infrastructure in place. What I mean is that the logistics, cold chain, or the production from the seed to the harvest, it's non-existent. To me, to my concern, every farmer finds his own way of doing this, and it shouldn't be that. It should have a system that guarantees the farmer